Welcome to In Your Face. I'm Mark. He's Brandon. We're going to talk about three topics today: the NBA draft, which is tonight. Then we're going to talk about Chip Kelly having all the power, and what should the Phillies do at the trade deadline. First, let's start with the NBA draft. With the Philadelphia 76ers with the third pick, I believe they should take D'Angelo Russell. He's a shooter and he's a great passer. I mean, who was our last shooter in Philadelphia? Kyle Korver, maybe. And Kyle Korver, he's out. And the Sixers have never had a shooter since him. What do you think, Brandon?
I think it all depends what happens with the Lakers. They're one pick ahead of the Sixers. Right now, the Lakers are the hot spot for every free agent, including Kevin Love or Marcus Aldridge. So if they take Kevin Love, they won't take Joe before, and maybe some guy like D'Angelo Russell won't be available. So I think before we can discuss the 76ers, we have to figure out who will be still available for the 76ers.
But Kevin Love hasn't fully opted out, and he said after the playoffs he fully expects to be with the Cleveland Cavaliers next season in the home opener. And it's the whole DeMarcus Cousins trade thing. Please, the Kings said they're not going to trade him, so I won't worry about the Lakers are doing, even though it is a big concern what they're trying to do. I still think the Sixers have to take D'Angelo Russell.
Well, I honestly think that there's no way that one of the big men will not end up in Los Angeles, so I think they will take D'Angelo Russell with the second overall pick, forcing the 76ers to trade down to around maybe 5 or 6 and try to take Emmanuel Mudiay, the foreign players who,
Well, if you look at any of the foreign players, like people are saying, let's take Kristaps Porzingis. Let me tell you the last foreign player, big man, who made it in the NBA. Okay, ready? Darko Milicic. What happened to him? He's been out of the league. He's 30 years old, and he's already been out of the league. He played 8 seasons. I do not want Kristaps Porzingis or Emmanuel Mudiay, because usually these international players who are picked really high up don't work out. Look at Ricky Rubio. What's he doing in Minnesota? He's doing okay, but I mean, he's not a superstar as what he was predicted to be. So I don't want that for the Sixers. I think they have to take D'Angelo Russell at number 3.
And D'Angelo Russell's gone.
Well, then you got to trade. You got to trade for him because he is the shooter that you need. The Sixers need a shooter. How long have you been saying this in Philadelphia for like about 6 to 8 years? We need a shooter on this team. All right, let's move on to the NFL and talk about Chip Kelly having the power. I like what Chip Kelly with all the power. I love him as GM. I like all the moves he's making. The Nick Foles Sam Bradford trade, that's kind of iffy because he traded away a Pro Bowl quarterback for a guy who tore his ACL twice. But I do like him making moves because who are we going to have making moves? Howie Roseman. Howie Roseman told us to get Danny Watkins, who was awful, and he told us to get Marcus Smith, our first pick. Marcus Smith out of Louisville hasn't seen the light of day on the field. Even when the Eagles are getting killed in Green Bay, he still couldn't get in the game. That's how bad he is, okay? What do you think about that?
I am not a fan of Chip Kelly's moves. It was fairly obvious this year that without Deshaun Jackson, they sometimes struggled at times to produce offense. So far, the only move of Kelly's I truly liked was trading LaShawn McCoy to the Bills. Last year, the Eagles had the number 1 rated run-blocking offensive line, yet LaShawn McCoy is only the 25th most efficient running back. I think those don't work at all. If you have the best offensive line, you should have a better running game. So, and plus, if you look at Kiko Alonso, he was a Rookie of the Year 2 years ago before he tore his ACL. I think he'll come in here. He's an Oregon player. He's worked with Chip Kelly before, and I think he'll fit in great with the defense. Otherwise, I think Chip Kelly's done an awful job.
Okay, well, I disagree. I agree with the Kiko Alonso trade. That was a great trade for the Eagles. And Adam Kaplan said yesterday that Kiko Alonso looks like he's 110%. But I have to disagree with you about Chip Kelly. But Deshaun Jackson was the right move, okay? He's a problem in the locker room. You can't have a guy like that making a problem in the locker room. Also, he's only 5'10", and he only accumulates most of his stats against bad teams. So when we go into the NFC Championship game against Seattle, when he's up against Richard Sherman, what's he going to do? Nothing, because Richard Sherman's just going to shut him down all day. Chip Kelly wants big wide receivers. That's all we got. So we have Cooper and Jordan Matthews, and that's what I agree with Chip Kelly is doing. I think he's going to turn us into a Super Bowl contender, because think about it. Would you rather Howie Roseman getting a guy like Danny Watkins and Marcus Smith, or would you rather have Chip Kelly making all the moves? And also, how many rings do we have? How many Super Bowls do we have? 0. Let's make the argument for that.
I mean, I think that the wide receiver position is actually a huge issue. I mean, what's Riley Cooper going to do? Get a personal flag for dropping the N-word on the field? I don't think you can trust Cooper. Jordan Matthews has had 1 year of production. You can't rely just solely on him as the number 1 receiver.
Okay, let me talk about Riley Cooper for a minute, okay? After that incident, okay, Chip Kelly left it up to the locker room to whether Riley Cooper should say. And Michael Vick and Brian Dawkins both spoke up. Brian Dawkins is a big guy on ESPN now, and he knows what he's doing, okay? He said that Riley Cooper should stay on the team. Everyone makes mistakes. Michael Vick got a second chance coming out of prison, and Michael Vick said he should stay on the team. So don't blame Kelly, because Kelly did say it's up to the locker room. If they don't want him, we'll get rid of him. But the locker room agreed to keep him, and he's still on the team, and he's still going to be a high-producing wide receiver.
And where has that production been thus far?
He had a bad season last year, but if you have a look at the season before, he was unbelievable. And now you reunite him with Tim Tebow, his favorite target at Florida.
Is Aaron Hernandez coming along too?
No, Aaron Hernandez is in jail. Forget Aaron Hernandez. Let's move on to the MLB. Let's talk about the Phillies and the trade deadline. First of all, the Phillies need to get younger. I mean, Ruben Amaro signs all these old guys, like Aaron Harang. He's like 34 years old. Why? We don't need him. We want young players. He signed Cliff Lee to a major contract. He can't even get on the field with that elbow issue he has. He signs Ryan Howard to a long-term contract when he can see that Ryan Howard is on the downturn. He signs Chase Utley, whose knees are almost out. He can barely move. And then you can't just sign all these old guys.
Phillies need to be buyers. It's fairly obvious in Philadelphia that no one wants to see the Phillies lose, and they're sick and tired of it. So you want to acquire more prospects, so this is sit down in the minor leagues. We're going to trade these prospects to try to get better.
Okay. Why would we trade our prospects? No one wants our prospects. We're at the bottom of the level in farm systems, okay? I want to be like the St. Louis Cardinals, where one guy, look at David Freese. He was a great player. They just let him go. Look at Albert Pujols. They tell him to walk. And look, they just bring up guys who are still producing for them. That's what I want to be like. That's why we need to trade Cole Hamels for 5 MLB-ready prospects. MLB-ready prospects, not just any prospects.
I can't believe you said that. Who's going to give up 5 MLB-ready prospects for one pitcher?
Okay.
This Cole Hamels guy, obviously used to be good 3 years ago, got roughed up by the Yankees for about 8 runs yesterday. Who's going to want to trade that, especially for 5 prospects?
Okay, Cole Hamels, that was one game. He won the World Series MVP, and he won the World. And he was the only bona fide starter on that 2008 World Series team. He led them to the World Series. So how can you say that he's a bad starter?
Cole Hamels' career record is 113 and 93. That doesn't sound like some great pitcher. I mean, that's an average pitcher at best.
Yeah, but look what he's playing with. He's playing with a guy who has a bad Achilles and a bad left knee at first. Chase Utley has no knees with him. He had Jimmy Rollins last year. All he did was pop up. Now you insert Freddie Galvis, who had a hot start, but now he's really cooled off. And how could you say that he... And look at their outfield. Their outfield is the worst in Major League Baseball. You have Ben Revere, Dominic Brown, and
Cody Ashley.
Yeah, but you can't have those guys up there. How can you say Cole Hamels is a bad pitcher?
I tell you what, when you give up 8 runs, you can't blame on the run support.
All right, thanks for tuning in tonight. I'm Mark, and he's Brandon.